No one saw it coming. Not the tourists, not the pranksters, not even the man himself, the one who had long been mocked, labeled crazy, and left to the cruelty of strangers. It happened in front of Buckingham Palace, where the eyes of the world often turned for pageantry and tradition. But on this day, the world would witness something else, something raw, human, and unforgettable. Because when cruelty pushed too far, one silent guard could no longer remain silent. But before we dive deep into this once-in-history moment, I want you to pause for a second. If you believe in courage, in kindness, and in the idea that even one act can change everything, then subscribe right now. Join this journey because stories like these are not just told, they're lived. And they remind us who we truly are. It began like so many cruel internet stunts. A handful of young men holding cameras, laughing louder than the London traffic. They had spotted a man, wildeed, disheveled, mumbling to himself near the palace gates. To them, he wasn't a human being with a story. He was content. They circled him, mocked his clothes, threw coins at his feet as if he were an animal to be fed. One pretended to interview him, shoving a mic in his face only to pull it away with laughter. Another filmed from the side, whispering, "This will go viral, mate." The man flinched, confused, clutching his coat tighter. His lips moved, but his voice trembled, lost under their laughter. The crowd of tourists nearby watched, but stayed silent, their phones raised, unsure if they were witnessing comedy or cruelty. And standing just yards away, motionless in his bearskin hat and crimson uniform, was a royal guard. Royal guards are trained for silence. For centuries, they have stood unflinching in heat, in snow, in the jeers of drunken tourists and the clicking of 1,000 cameras. Their discipline is legend, but even legends are human. As the pranksters pushed harder, one even snatching the man's cap and tossing it between them like a toy, the guard's jaw tightened. His eyes, though fixed straight ahead, burned. Inside, something broke. Not his discipline. Not his oath. Something deeper. The line between silence and humanity. Then it happened. For the first time in living memory, a royal guard stepped out of line, out of tradition, and into history. Enough. The single word cracked through the air like a gunshot. The crowd gasped. The pranksters froze. Even the crazy man blinked in disbelief. The guard marched forward, boots striking against the pavement, his towering figure casting a shadow over the tormentors. His voice, usually bound by silence, roared with the authority of centuries. Do you think this is a game? A man's dignity is not your stage. His pain is not your joke. The pranksters stammered, their cameras shaking. It's just a prank. Mate, relax. But the guard didn't relax. He stood tall, eyes locked on them. A prank is laughter shared. This is cruelty and cruelty is cowardice. The crowd, silent moments ago, erupted in murmurs. Phones lowered. Some even clapped. And for the first time, the madman was not the target. He was the center of a circle of protection. The guard bent down, not to scold the man, but to meet his eyes. He spoke softly now, words no one expected to hear. You are seen. You are not alone. Tears welled in the man's eyes. Years of ridicule seemed to crack, replaced, if only for a moment, by something fragile, but real dignity. Tourists who had come for a photo with a statue-like soldier instead captured history. A soldier defending not a palace, but a person. And in that instant, everything shifted. The pranksters slipped away. Their laughter dead, their content unfinished. The crowd, they cheered. Not the spectacle, but the courage. Videos of the guard's act spread across the world within hours. Headlines called it the day the guard broke the silence. But beyond the headlines, something more powerful happened. Schools replayed the video as a lesson. Parents showed their children what real strength looks like. And the man who was mocked, he was no longer just a crazy guy. People reached out, offered help. Some even recognized him, a veteran who had once served, but had fallen through the cracks of society. History indeed had changed. Not because a king decreed it, not because a war was fought, but because one man bound by silence chose to speak. And here's the truth. Every single one of us has that moment. The moment when silence feels safer, easier, less risky. The moment when we see cruelty and think, it's not my place. But if a royal guard trained to never flinch, to never speak, can break centuries of tradition for the sake of compassion, then what's stopping us? The guard's action reminds us that courage isn't always about battlefields or medals. Sometimes courage is standing up when everyone else looks away. Sometimes it's defending the dignity of someone the world has forgotten. And maybe, just maybe, it's about proving that humanity is greater than tradition. Picture it. A silent soldier, a broken man, a circle of strangers who became witnesses to something timeless. History didn't change in that moment because palaces or crowns shifted. It changed because one act of compassion rippled across the globe, reminding us all that dignity is not a luxury. It's a right. And now I turn to you. If this story touched you, don't just watch it, live it. The next time you see someone mocked, belittled, or cast aside, remember this day. Be the one who steps forward. And if you believe stories like this deserve to be told, then do 3 simple things. Like this video to spread it. Comment with your thoughts. Your words might inspire someone else to act. And subscribe not just for more stories, but to join a movement of people who refuse to stay silent when dignity is at stake. Because history doesn't only belong to kings and queens. It belongs to all of us. And it is written, one act of courage at a